Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to Today in Bitcoin. Today is September the 26th, 2017. Strong hand. Get rich by desiring little. Pure commitment to Bitcoin. Be a 20%er. Buy and hold. Long-term thinking. Too many sayings, Adam. Too many sayings. All right, check out the links below. .com. Get your Trezor, Ledger Nano. Use my affiliate code, please. And of course, you need a leather case. You can get a leather case for your storage device there also. And I have the one of the leather cases in my hands right now. Let's see. Let's see it. Oh, yeah. I'm also wearing a shirt that Nathan in Australia got me. You guys can read what it says, right? So, all right. So let's jump into what is going on here today. Remember, check out yesterday's show. It's linked to below, and the day before show. People liked how I ended yesterday's show, so I think I'm going to end today's show in a similar manner. All right. Where are my notes here? Okay. So, real Bitcoin. You know you've got the real Bitcoin when you're getting crypto dividends from it, okay? So, if you're holding your Bitcoin, you're going to get Bgold. You've already gotten Bcash from it. If you're holding Bcash now, you're not getting Bgold from it, okay? So this is another benefit of the real Bitcoin, the crypto dividends. They don't build friendly forks off of Bcash or 2x. Maybe they will one day, maybe someone will. But right now, Bitcoin is the one that people are trying to fork off from, whether it be friendly or unfriendly. And we're about to hear a lot about these friendly forks, I've got a feeling. I've heard some rumors. Some Bgold hype about to hit the fan, I guess. So yeah, that's just another benefit of the real Bitcoin is, well, the crypto dividends as we know it now. So hey, if you want to fork Bcash, be my guest. All right, so there's a guy I follow. I've mentioned him before, a financial guy named Mish. His blog is out there, and I linked to it below. And it's called Bitcoin Probably Worth Zero. And he actually links to an article that's called Bitcoin Probably Worth Zero. And he's been down on Bitcoin for a while, and I brought him up in the past. But yeah, check him out. I think what's funny about this is just some of the comments that people leave in the comment section of that blog post. I mean, it's just some of the most, I don't know, people who just don't want progress, people who get pleasure out of just being stuck and not in motion. It's kind of a downer, but it's really an upper because you can read and say, I'm glad I'm not one of those people on his commenting on this blog. But hey, hey, that's a different opinion there. See why he thinks it's going to zero. I didn't think it was a good reason at all. I think it's just another FUD article, but hey, we are immune to FUD here. Pound that like button if you're immune to FUD. All right, the great Chris, he sent me a link to Bitmain, okay? And I linked to it below. Always check out the notes section below, people. And Bitmain, selling their equipment, their miners, their whatever, at the very bottom of the page I linked to, you know, it shows that you can pay in Bitcoin, you can pay in Bcash, because Bitmain is run by Rocketman Wu, and Rocketman Wu is a big supporter of Bcash, along with, you know, King of the Trolls and the drug addict from Belize. They're all big fans of Bcash. Anyway, you can buy his products with Bcash, but the exchange rate that he gives, he says Bcash is worth $500, while Bitcoin is worth $3,775. And he lists, Bitmain, it might not be the Rocket Man who's actually doing this, but they list the prices in dollars. So basically, you're getting a discount if you use Bcash. You're not getting a discount. You're getting penalized if you use Bitcoin. So he's encouraging people to use Bcash. It's a way to pump up the usage of Bcash at his expense, because Bcash isn't worth 500 US dollars right now, at Bitmain's expense. So I found that fascinating, and I thank Chris for sending that to me. Maybe you'll see Chris on the air with me one of these days. You never know. All right. Speaking about friends of the show, Andy Hoffman. Something I forgot to mention yesterday about Andy Hoffman is that a lot of you say that Andy Hoffman should be a regular on This Week in Bitcoin. He does have scheduling issues, by the way. He's a very busy man, and I will try to get him on more often, of course. Although I'm not promising we're going to have regular guest on This Week in Bitcoin yet. That I'm not saying. But the point is, something I forgot to say is that as a representative of Bitcoin, as a guy who's a fan of Bitcoin, and a man who has such experience as Andy Hoffman, he can handle a lot of different types of interviews. Of all the people out there, we need to get him on the Alex Jones show. Now, I know, and I don't like the Alex Jones has got some wacky stuff on there. But Andy Hoffman has been on many a show that deal with doom porn and just the conspiracy, all the nonsense that Alex Jones. Because Alex Jones is not exactly he's paranoid about Bitcoin. But if we can, and maybe this will be a project, get Andy Hoffman on the Alex Jones show. Of all the Bitcoin speakers out there, Andy Hoffman would be the best qualified person to be on the Alex Jones show because he could handle Alex Jones. He's dealt with wilder than Alex Jones before. So that's just something I forgot to mention yesterday. But just another benefit of having Andy Hoffman in the Bitcoin ecosystem is that he's got a lot of experience talking to a lot of different types of people, and he can, and you guys obviously agree because you all want to hear him talk more on this show too. So people have asked about my camera. And so yesterday I did do the show with this camera. The issue is, guys, is that when you do a live show like I do, and I love to do live shows because, hey, you guys in the super chat, you can send me, no, that's not why I like to do it, but hey, if you're in the super chat, you can send me a fiat if you want to. I like to do them because it's just done. You don't have to upload anything. It puts it up there for you right away. I don't like to edit stuff anyway. I want people to feel it coming from me naturally and everything. So if there's a mistake, like I don't have my shirt on, you'll see it. But when you do it live, it really comes out slower. It does. I mean, and you can see right now I'm using the camera built in, and so it's fidgety and everything, and it's jumping. I'm probably speaking and it's not going with my mouth properly, and that's because it's live. Now, if I were to tape it and then upload it, and I used to do that a long time before I got this laptop in January. Like last year, I used to upload, and the uploading process it's just not as easy. It takes up time. I don't have that much time. So, and yesterday I was even plugged in directly into the Ethernet, and it still wasn't perfect. It still was a little messed up. So if you're doing live shows, you're going to have problems. And so I do have a better camera now. I do have a better camera. Okay, you can see it for yourselves. So, I mean, what can I say? I care about the content of this show. I care about that I was the first guy. I think it's cool that I was the first guy that was talking about Bgold. You're about to hear a lot of people start talking about it. I break a lot of news here. We have a lot of awesome guests here. I never watch the shows. First of all, I never watched like any show. I just listen to shows. I don't see why people, my 93 or 94% male audience, I don't really understand why you'd like to look at me. I don't get it. And the scenery here is always going to be me. And I mean, sometimes there'll be some cooler background scenery, but if it's a little fidgety, I think you should like it. I mean, I don't think it makes that big of a difference. I'm a guy who cares about content. I really think if you want something that's pretty and fancy and flashy, that you're part of the 80%, and you just are like, well, you conform, yeah, you know, whatever. You'll buy Steam when some random dude tells you to. All right, so let's move on here. Remember, pound the like button, subscribe to the channel. And check out the notes section below. Bang that bell button if you're already subscribed. So a reader of mine sent me, he said it was a Fortune magazine article. It looks like it's in Forbes. And I'm gonna read you what he wrote. Yesterday, Fortune magazine, and it might have been a combination of the two. Yesterday, Fortune magazine released Buying Bitcoin and Crypto Assets, the ultimate guide. The very first thing it tells you is how to get in on an ICO. Then the next thing it says is how to buy tokens after release. Then it tells you to pay taxes. Nowhere does it say buy and hold Bitcoin. It's like they want you to lose money. Thank you for being real and sticking to your message. Just buy and hold. Nothing fancy. We need you and can't trust the mainstream media or YouTube people being paid by the ICOs. Also, I like Simon Dixon as a regular guest. Okay, very good. Thank you for all of that. So yeah, this Fortune Forbes thing, it's linked to below. Laura Shin had something to do with it. It's unfortunate. I mean, there are a lot of beginners out there. We got to start with the simplest of things. Know how to handle your Bitcoin. Don't even jump into Litecoin before you understand your Bitcoin. I just told a guy contacted me asking me about Litecoin and about the different types of addresses. I said, man, you got to get into Bitcoin, get a better grasp of Bitcoin before you get into Litecoin. And I know some of you are saying, well, they're the same. Not everyone has the same skill level you do. Younger people out there, if you're like in your 20s or whatever, you're more technologically advanced than people that are in their 40s, 50s, 60s. And there's a lot of them too who want to get into that. So be patient, everyone. All right, yesterday I talked about that progression of technology between 1898 and 2018. And basically going back to that and look at yesterday's videos, if you got in before the years that I mentioned, like if you were into radio before 1918 and you owned like some radio stuff, I don't know what the equivalent would be back in 1918, you were in very good financial shape because after 1918, or really after 1920, things really picked up. It's just like in the internet time, if you were in around 1998, okay, you owned some internet stocks around 1998, or maybe started your own internet company around 1998, you were in very, very good shape, okay? Or before, so every year I mentioned, if you were that year or before you started in that industry, you were in great shape if you stuck with it. I mean, so I'm saying if you're into Bitcoin before 2018, because I did every 20 years, if you're in Bitcoin before 2018, which you probably are, and you stick with it, you hold, you're in good shape. All right. And so Andy Hoffman, in his a blog post of his, actually talked about it, getting in way early on major technological innovations. I linked to his cryptogoldcentral.com blog where he talks about that article below. Sign up for his free trial, sign up for the whole year, whatever you want to do. He posts a lot of things there every day. And a lot of you say you like him. So, hey, check it out. All right. He also has an article about Litecoin. And I know a lot of you just love when someone says something good about Litecoin. And you have to realize with Andy also, this is a man who he evolves, because when we started talking about cryptocurrency, I don't know when he made his first appearance on my show now. It was in January, I think. He wasn't too high on altcoins at all. And I don't know how much he'd explored Litecoin at that point. But now Andy holds Litecoin. And whatever, I'm not saying to buy Litecoin. But he has Litecoin silver to Bitcoin gold. That's what this thing is about. So if you want to, again, if you want to get into it, hey, if you want to check out Andy's stuff, it's linked to below. You got to sign up and all that stuff. But hey, all right. Okay, those are two things I'm going to skip. Tomorrow, I'm probably going to give an update from my buddy in Korea. I wanted to tell my buddy in Korea that I got his messages. I've been very busy. He talks about that new exchange opening up. He gives some inside information. It's very interesting stuff. Pound that like button if you like the kind of original type of news that we bring to you here. Or that I bring. I always say we. It's me. But yeah, I don't read. I mean, I read a lot of things, but I don't go with what the so-called mainstream CoinDesk or whoever out there. And they serve a purpose, but I just don't read off what they say and then make some comments on it. I just come up with original stuff. I get stuff from Twitter. I mean, I do a lot of reading. Okay, here's one that I got from Twitter. Local Bitcoins will not support Bcash or okay, local Bitcoins is again, okay. So yeah, that's what it says. Local Bitcoins will not support Bcash. You can check out the tweet below. They explain why. There is confusion. Obviously, they don't want to be involved with confusing people because people think the addresses are similar. They start with ones or three. They look like Bitcoin addresses. They're doing a responsible thing here. And the name, you know, some people call Bcash by another name. And that's why you have to call it Bcash to help people. And I respect that local Bitcoins in their tweet called it Bcash. Very good job, because they don't want people to be confused. We don't. Bcash is a crypto dividend. It's a crypto dividend, so you don't want to confuse people by saying some other name. And so local Bitcoins is doing a good thing. I want to point out that Bgold, they're using a different, they're not trying to confuse anyone. They don't spaz out when you call it Bgold or anything like that. They actually have embraced the nickname, and they're going to have a different address format. Now, on that same topic of Bgold here, and so, yeah, they're not into confusing people. And this is, people have asked me in the past, well, what's the difference between a friendly and an unfriendly fork? Okay, do you guys the people who have asked that question, I think can you understand the difference now? Like, Bgold isn't trying to confuse people. They're going out of their way not to confuse people. They're going out of the way not to pretend to be the real Bitcoin, while these others, you know, Bcash, 2x or whatever, are doing the opposite. That's unfriendly. Bgold is friendly. A lot of you have questions about Bgold. I'm not part of Bgold. I've got a guy telling me stuff. So what you should do is go to their Twitter. The Twitter, you know, it's BTC GPU. No, is that what it is? Yeah. And it's linked to below, whatever the darn Twitter is. All right. Click on it. You can tweet the guy questions behind it. Ask him. There's going to be more stuff coming out there, but I can't answer. I'm not part of the team. You ask them directly. I'm sure they'll have an email. They have a Facebook page up there already. You go to their site, but go to their Twitter, tweet them questions, send them direct messages. You can see now they are answering questions. All right. Carl Denninger, I linked to something of his below. He talks about how buying a used car is better than buying a new car. And this kind of blends into what I'm about to talk about, conformity. Because if you conform to society, you're going to buy a new car. You just have to have that new car that you were watching during your NFL game, you know, because you watch the NFL. And I'm not saying you guys do, but those who conform, they watch their NFL, they see Chevrolet advertising or Toyota or whoever, and like, I got to get that new car. I got to get that. No. To maintain a new car is so expensive. Carl Denninger goes over the basics, why you should own a used car. I mean, for me, it's common sense, but whatever. Learn. All right. So yeah, if you feel no pressure to conform, then you're going to be in great shape financially. Okay. So I'm about to read you. So we're ending with Bitcoin right now. We're going to go into some of the Meister philosophies. You can turn off if you want to, but maybe there'll be a little Bitcoin in this also. So pound that like button. But I'm gonna read you some notes that I actually made. I was when I was in Quebec City, and now's the time to share them. And I started writing this after watching some what's his name, Jordan Peterson. Is that his Dr. Jordan? The guy that's on Molyneux's show sometimes. Yeah. What's his name? Is it Jordan? All right. So the conformity index. I think there should be a conformity index that we should, because there's like a creativity, or maybe a creativity index. Well, there is a creativity index, but a conformity index. Measure people's ability to go their own way. Now, smart people, as I mentioned yesterday, are not perfect. They might not score high in the conformity index. If you're a regular guy, you can be better than smart people in this category, in the conformity index. You can change yourself so you don't conform, so you do not get addicted to the mainstream. How indoctrinated are you? Indoctrinate. I can't say the word right. Smart people. Now, something you have to think here is smart people don't have to try as hard to get rich, but some don't try to get rich at all, and they don't get rich. Some don't try to get rich at all, and they still get rich because they're so smart. But if you're a regular man and you try hard to get rich, you can. Okay, you can. When some of these smart people, they're not going to get rich. If you try, you don't have to be smart to get rich. There's nothing stopping you, and there are shortcuts if you are not indoctrinated and you go your own way. Okay, your own way is a shortcut that you develop. Smart people go the normal way a lot of the time, through being a doctor, a lawyer, and they just go through the motions, and they end up successful by traditional standards, which may put them in debt. And I mentioned this yesterday, and and then they might have a wife take it all in the end anyway. So if you, and that's not so smart, is it, in the long run? If you end up with a wife taking all your stuff because you were a rich doctor. There's something more than intelligence. Okay, there is something more than intelligence when we're talking about how immune to social expectations, social pressure are you? We need to develop a scale that measures that type of thing. Just because you're smart does not mean you are immune. And in fact, so many smart people like the doctors and the lawyers, they are not immune to social expectations at all and social pressure. In fact, they completely give into it. Maybe that's why they became doctors and lawyers. They could have gone their completely own way, been entrepreneurs, they're freaking geniuses, but they felt like, I got to do this. I mean, my mother wants me to be a doctor. I'll get a pretty woman if I'm a doctor. I can't do so. Creativity, long-term thinking, and discipline. All right. Creativity, long-term thinking, and discipline are all keys to success. All things that you can control, even if you're not as smart as that doctor or whatever, and you can end up smarter than them. Creativity and how do you define creativity too? Because Jordan Peterson was defining it by how artistic you were, something like that. But I'm trying to tell you guys that creativity is something more. It's how you reshape your life, how you just go down your own way. You create shortcuts. Creativity leads you down different paths, your own way. Creativity opens up your mind to new ways of looking at success. Experience, guys, experience helps add to creativity. And I have seen this firsthand from my own experience in life. My own experiences in life from when I owned a house in a very bad area of Baltimore and lived in it. Many of you, I've talked about this before. I mean, the experiences that I experienced there in the city of Baltimore on Linden Avenue, and the travel that I have gone on, have these real life experiences have made me a more creative person, have made me just find shortcuts in life, and have just made me more resolute in going my own way and just creating, just being more entrepreneurial, and just going away from what society demands. Perhaps if I hadn't gone through all these things, maybe I would still be addicted to the NFL. Maybe, who knows? Who knows? Maybe I would still feel certain pressures in terms of, the pressure during a certain period of life where you have to find a woman, or where you value your self-worth in how many women you get. So again, get some experiences. I guess I can conclude with that one. But so that's my little addition to the show today. I know some of you like that kind of thing. Pound that like button. I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, Disrupt Meister. Remember to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video. Do check out the notes section below, and I will say hello to you guys in the chat. Bye-bye.